Amy, thanks so much for staying with me tonight here on TCM. We're just thrilled that you're here.
Thank you. I'm really glad to be here.
I love your performance in Weapons as Aunt Gladys, and I'm so glad that you've asked us to show Whatever Happened to Baby Jane from 1962 because I've learned this is a film, and particularly a performance by Bette Davis, that really inspired your work as Gladys on Weapons. So before we go there, I'd love to know what your history is with this movie.
Oh, I've seen Miss Bette Davis and this film, I couldn't even tell you how many times. I saw it in '62 when it first came out in the movie theater.
Oh.
And then saw it again and things like that. I've always been a fan of hers. And I thought just the brilliance of the story, the brilliance of the black and white. But in Weapons, we created Gladys's look with an entire team of magnificent people. And Zach Kreger and I, we both are Diane Arbus fans. We talked about her and many things. But of course, I referenced to Miss Bette Davis because I'm not comparing myself to her as an actor, but her ability in that film to flip back and forth, to be the one who's outside and very kind, and then she's laser sharp when she needs something. Her makeup was very well defined and very well done in the film. And she really knew how to wear it, and she really knew how to work with that. And you have to, if you're going to put things on, you have to know how to accept that.
That's fascinating. Okay, so when you start talking to Zach Kreger, who wrote and directed Weapons, about Gladys, how did this film come up? Was it something that he had in mind and you had in mind? Was it one of you encouraging the other for this to be an inspiration? How did it all work?
I don't think it was pinpointed like that because Zach and I had a number of conversations. Per the script says Aunt Gladys wears loud clothes and had this kind of crazy hair and she likes jewelry. Well, you can interpret that many ways, but the makeup was kind of written about she wears a lot of makeup. Well, how do you do that? So it just kind of came up naturally. We were thinking of, let's say, for lack of a better term, arch villains, that we don't want to pretend that we are that. There's some iconic ones, and Pennywise would be one, and many other people. And so we didn't want to do a traditional with a hat, let's say, or something. So we're just thinking about really good performances and really good people, how they kind of jammed with that. So kind of just happened naturally, like she came up in the conversation.
Wow.
You know? Yeah. And he loves the movie as much as I do.
Great.
Yeah.
For Oscar nerds like myself, this was Bette Davis's 10th and final Oscar nomination.
Yes.
10 nominations
I
over
know
her
it.
career. What about her do you love in general, particularly about this performance?
She has a great confidence in herself, I think, as Miss Bette Davis, but she has a great confidence in her work and what she does. If she walks into the frame, you go like that.
Oh,
you just watch her. And the whole movie just really spooked me out when I saw it. And it was in black and white, which I loved. Victor Buono, who I've always liked as an actor. And that piano scene where they're rehearsing together, oh my Lord. So those things speak to me. What can I say?
Yeah. If there's anyone who's watching who's never seen this film before, we should tell people it's about these two sisters, one who was a child star, Baby Jane, played by Bette Davis, and then her sister, played by Joan Crawford, who was like a bigger star later in life. And now the two of them are living together under very interesting circumstances, and they have a very fraught relationship, to say the least. You talk about the look of Baby Jane being kind of adjacent to the look of Gladys, your character in Weapons. But what's fascinating, of course, as you mentioned, Baby Jane is black and white, Weapons is in color. So to see your look as Gladys in color is so thrilling. And my understanding is there's a lot of people who watch the whole movie Weapons and they have no idea that it was you.
Isn't that great? That's the supreme compliment. You hope as an actor, you get a chance to really just get inside that part and people forget. You know, when you see a film and you go, oh, that's that person and I know that person. But to be Gladys was completely freeing for me. And when people don't know that it's me, that makes me happy.
It's great. Anyone who has not seen Weapons, by the way, get on HBO Max and watch it right after you're done watching Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. All right, we'll watch the movie and then we'll talk more about it afterwards.
Okay.
Here it is from 1962, Bette Davis and Joan Crawford in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. All right, Amy, what a great ending to Baby Jane on the beach. and just such a powerful performance by both of the lead
Very. I mean,
actresses.
Joan Crawford is magnificent in it.
Yes.
Not an easy part at all.
No.
Miss Betty Davis, her part is much fuller and it's moving forward, and she has to, Joan Crawford has to react, and she's quite good in it.
How often would you say you're able to, when you're working on a current performance, whether it's television or film, to use a classic character or classic performance as a direct inspiration? Do you try to do that whenever you can, or is it really only in certain special circumstances like Gladys in Weapons?
I'm a real movie buff, and I've seen a lot during different periods of our industry. So I think they're just all inside of you, and you kind of pull something. I didn't base my performance on Baby Jane, but it's something that just seeped into me, and I remember it, and I remember the look and the beauty of it, and her physicality and things like that. I remember all the movies that I've seen, most of them. My memory is really good doing that. So, especially the black and white ones, because I grew up with my brother, and we just watched everything. We just did, and we loved it.
That's great.
Yeah.
I know it was important to you not to have Gladys be a typical villain and to have lots of different facets and shadings to her. And what I love about the performance is that she's funny at times, but also quite evil at times. I can imagine that must have been a fascinating dichotomy to play.
Really fun to play. And I really always go back to what has been given to me on the script. And Zach Kreger wrote this, and it's a really tight, wonderful script. So I really pinpointed, when does she really just level down and tell you what it is? And when does she because she doesn't go out in public that often. And when she does go out in public, you would notice her. She's not hanging out at Starbucks or anything like that. So Zach gave me a really good note, though. He said, think sometimes of Gladys that when she has to go out in public, she's observed people and she watches them. And so she's almost imitating how you're supposed to be when you're in public, how to be pleasant, how to be nice. And underneath that is, I got to get what I want.
Yeah.
So that was a really good note for me.
What do you think it is about characters like Betty Davis in Baby Jane or Gladys in Weapons and all of the ones that came between, these kind of macabre characters, that people seem so fascinated by?
Well, I think for women in particular, and especially in that period of time, let's say for an earlier film, women have been overlooked and they're full of rage. So, not to put too fine a point on that, but I think it taps into something very primal for women when they'll see someone take charge and they'll see someone kind of snap. Now, obviously, when it's taken to an nth degree and ultra-violence is there, I'm not condoning that, but I think that there is a communication cord that exists that way. And don't you like to see somebody behaving badly?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when it's you doing it and it's Aunt Gladys in this movie, Weapons, because it is something to behold.
Oh.
I encourage everyone to see it on HBO Max, and don't read anything about it before you see it. Just watch it. Amy, what a thrill to be with you at such an exciting time in your life and career. Thank you for being here all night.
Oh, yeah, I had a really good time, and I love TCM, and I know all the people out there, they're loyal, and they love TCM.
And we love them for that, and we love you for it, too. So thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, stick around because I'm turning it over to Eddie Muller for this week's edition of Noir Alley. Don't go anywhere.
Next on TCM, Shield for Murder, then the Gumball Rally, and later, Every Which Way But Loose. There's no escaping TCM tonight.